UK riots, Channel 5.
Look here, 3 girls were killed by that kid in Southport.
It's an act of violence that shattered the peace of the summer holidays in a seaside town.
3 girls were killed.
BB King, Elsie Stankham and Elise Aguirre.
However, 186,000 Palestinians have been killed, most of them are children. Do you see us burning every synagogue that supports the Israeli regime?
Another fire, another night of chaos.
Anti-immigration rioters attack a hotel in Rotherham.
Do you see us holding innocent people responsible?
Crowds clashing with police outside a hotel where immigrants are being housed.
Yeah,
So I know it's not funny. Why are they throwing chairs at the beginning? But why they throwing chairs at the police, man? Hey, put that on the list of shit you can't do in Atlanta without getting shot. Bro, they throwing chairs at police. I talked funny to a police officer one time. This threatened to arrest me.
Coming in peace, and imagine our anger. Imagine how we feel every day in Chechnya, in Syria, Iraq, Palestine, Kashmir, Mali, Libya, everywhere. We see our children killed. We don't behave in a manner that you see these hooligans behaving in because they don't care for their girls. They're here for violence. They're here because they hate us.
Lord have
A black
mercy.
Christian man born in Wales.
What the fuck is happening in the UK?
Axel Rudakabana is 17, British, born in Wales and of Rwandan heritage.
But who they're directing their anger at? They're directing it at Muslims only. Why? Because their agenda is anti-Islam, straight up.
Bro, no cap chat. This is the year of like the division. It's finally gonna happen. Like we done seen this shit on the forecast for a very long time, but I think especially this election cycle is gonna happen, bro. Because the politicians are convinced that immigration is the issue. And you know what the ironic part about Americans saying that is? Everybody in the world loses all of their best doctors, nurses, physicians, engineers, entertainers to the U.S. The U.S. gets the best of the best immigrants because the U.S. pays the best. It's #1 place in the world to make money. It's the reason why I came here. It's amazing. So when Americans are mad about immigrants, okay, the illegal immigration, of course, you should follow the fucking law. There's a way to seek asylum, and even if you get denied, that's the process, and that's what's in place. You can't just fucking skedaddle somewhere because you want to. You can't go to no country without a visa. You can't. That being said, immigration is a great thing, and just so you know, the legal immigration is the thing pushing our economy forward right now. It is. And it's not so bad in America. In Canada, the whole economy is being propped up by foreign investment and legal immigration. The entire economy, to the point where if Canada stops, they're fucked. Recession immediately. So we have to consider the benefits too. Okay, now I think a lot of people are beginning to get anti anyone who doesn't look like me. That's flat out fucking racism. Okay, if you legally enter the country through legal means, whether as a refugee, with any sort of visa, family visa, entertainer visa, work visa, employment visa, then you are contributing to that society. And you're gonna do within the bounds of whatever your visa or green card or whatever it says. I hate the fact that every time I go on Twitter, it's some new anti-immigration thing. Because you could be anti-illegal immigration, but I don't think that's where it's gonna stop. I think people are gonna go to the extreme, and anyone that doesn't look like me and sound like me shouldn't be around me. And that makes the world such a more hateful place that I'm genuinely like pretty afraid of what that's gonna look like for all the minorities in America, in fucking UK, in wherever, in Russia. This shit makes me sad, bro.
This is our fucking country, not fucking theirs.
Man, you couldn't have wrote that shit any better, nigga. You couldn't have wrote that shit any better, man. Oh my God. Fuck me, bro.
I'm here to save the kids. The children have been murdered. There's been a massacre on the street.
They got the targeting little white girls all over the country. Let's call a spade a fucking spade.
It's like Russian roulette at this point. Which one's going to be next?
No one questioned why BLM were out. No one questions why Palestine are out. We're saving the kids. We're stopping the boats. We're closing the borders. Look how mad we've all gone. This is real women. This is lionesses. This is the lion roaring. I'm not racist and I don't give a fuck what you say.
Okay. Yes, you are. But also, it's so funny that let's be honest, chat. We benefit from the poor countries in magnificent ways. Shit is cheaper because we just get a slave across the world to make it for you. The cobalt gets mined by slaves. Some of them child slaves. The shirts, they get knitted by slaves. This is true. Some of them are in actual camps. No cap. And then we all buy it because it's on crazy discount. We get to benefit from the exact people we hate all the time. Your iPhone. What you think it's made of, nigga? So when you benefit from their labor, it's cool. This shit's so fucked up. Yo, chat, this is my actual theory. This is what I actually think. I'm not trolling. I hope aliens invade Earth because that is the only time we will actually unify. I mean, so dead ass. I'm not trolling. I hope a species that's not from Earth invades because it will be the only time we all get to, they don't give a fuck if you're from China, Indonesia, fucking Australia. We will all get together because now we have a common goal. We is no longer them versus us. I hate that people get elected off division, bro, because it spawns idiots like her. The fact that she has to say, I'm not racist, she probably gets called racist a lot. The politicians get on there and they'll say whatever it takes, they'll grift to whoever it takes to win a fucking election, and it spawns people like her. She believes that talk. And then there's the normal people that believe all politicians lie, and you should probably do your own research before blindly believing some shit somebody says. If you hate immigration, go look at the stats. Most likely, your economy is the one benefiting from immigration. The country, it's called brain drain. That's the word. But if I lived in Ethiopia, studied my whole life in Ethiopia, and then left Ethiopia, Ethiopia is the loser. Because they lost a person they helped train to a completely different country. And most third world countries deal with severe brain drain. And it sucks their economy dry. And you know who gets all those immigrants? These countries, where they get paid way more. Because why stay in a place you can get paid nothing when you can go to somewhere you get paid way? There's so much things people don't consider. That sucks to me, bro. I just hate the hate, bro. Why can't we just all love each other, my nigga? Why we gotta be like this, bro? It's not about kids for her. I know it's not. She has an agenda. She will believe any fact that agrees with her agenda. She will detest any fact that disagrees with her agenda. That's facts.
Then who's trying to kill our kids?
Policies that politicians put in place, yeah?
Stop their boats! Stop their boats! Stop their boats! Stop their boats!
They're calling us far right. We're not far right, we're all fathers and parents of children. These immigrants are coming in without paperwork, we're lying about their ages, we don't know nothing about the backgrounds, and that's what it's about.
We don't want to be branded far right. You know, we're here for the right reasons. I want my kids to know I didn't stay silent. Leave our kids alone.
It's about children that have lost their lives in this city, and we're passionate about that up here.
We're not racist. We've got Muslim friends. Our country has benefited from migration. However, it's just getting overwhelming. We're a very small island. It's become a security risk.
Religion means fuck all, lad. I'm not arsed. This is about people coming in. They could be Christians from Somalia or wherever, and they're fucking wrong-uns. That's what it is. We're letting wrong-uns in. This is not religious. That's bollocks. Fucking bollocks. This is about the wrong-uns they're letting in. You can be a Christian, you can be whatever. You're coming in, you've got no intention of fucking helping the country. You're here to cause trouble. You're here to take and thieve and steal. You're here to stay for nothing. So, unfortunately, that's a no-no. There's 50,000 people here on an MI6 list, isn't there? Start with them, get rid of them, get rid of the people who are killing kids, raping kids, get rid of them.
Stop the boats, kick them out. There's too many of you here. You don't respect our country, you don't respect our religion. All you think about is Aisha, because she was 9 years old. That's what you're all into. paedophilia.
Listen, it's a message for George Soros, yeah? Britain will never fall. We don't care how many globalists, yeah? George Soros, yeah? You globalist scumbags, yeah? Import as many of them as you want, yeah? Guess what? Christ will prevail, yeah?
This world is so corrupt. Labour's supposed to love the North West, supposed to be for the working class. They've stabbed the real people who has got real concerns. They've stabbed a lot of us in the back. And we supposed to stand here and let everybody call us right-wing and Nazis. I've got Asians in my family. I ain't racist one bit. What I am is scared of this government.
We've now got two-tier Kia coming on the news and having the audacity to call the general public far right.
I utterly condemn the far-right thuggery we've seen this weekend.
I've seen all this coming.
When white niggas say thug, it always makes me smile a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know why, man.
No one wanted it. We tried to warn about it, and I'm still going to try and warn about it. I don't want to fight anybody. We don't want wars with Muslims. I don't think it's a good idea attacking mosques at all. I'm not a conservative either. I'm not an anarchist. I want a decent party that cares about the people. That's all we want. Every person, doesn't matter where you're from.
Okay, so if Tories weren't the answer, Labour wasn't the answer, who is?
I'm not a politician and I'm thick as pig shit, but I can talk to people. I've never been to school, I can only write my own name, but I've got an heart as big as a lion, and I'll stand there against anybody for the sake of our country. People need to wake up against Labour. These are the rats. We're not racist, we're scared.
Everybody out there is not acting and is not on this street now. Get out there and act. Don't call yourself a man unless you're out here. Don't call yourself a man. Simple as that. You don't fight for your country. You don't push back the invaders. You're not a man. If we don't fight now, it's going to come to our kids having to fight, and they're not going to win it. They're not going to win the fight. So I don't want the violence. We've got to try and do it peacefully. But this has to be the final straw where they...
Bro, this shit is so sad, bro. I think only 2 of the people so far, and granted, we're not seeing the whole interview, but only 2 of them have even mentioned illegal immigration. And I would agree with them. If you said don't come to the country illegally, that's facts. There's legal ways. Do it the legal way. The rest of them have been ranting about literally everything else.
There's a clear message sent to those in charge that you either step up or you step aside now. I was in Southport on Tuesday.
Police tried to keep apart a group of far-right protesters and a much larger anti-fascist counter-protest.
The media absolutely corrupt. They lied. There wasn't a single member of the EDL there. There weren't a member of the far right there. There was little girls, older women. There was older men. There was young men, middle-aged men, outraged at what the government's allowing to happen to us. What the government's allowing this cancer to do to us, this cancer that's grown within our nation. We need to stop it.
My children were abused by social services, and Merseyside police have covered it up. They've got a hidden grooming gang that won't be released to the public.
Defund the BBC, the media are the lies, the media is the vibe.
Step number 1, dehumanize the enemy. They're doing it, bro. That's how this shit starts, my nigga. Dehumanize them. They're not people. They're others. They're its. That's how that shit be starting, my nigga. I'm telling you. This is nuts. And the crazy thing about the UK specifically is the country's in the shitter right now, economically. Like, I think the only city doing well is London, and that's because it's a financial hub. And really, London's not doing well. The financial sector in London is doing really well and kind of carrying the whole city. I watched a whole video, I watched a bunch of videos about like the UK economically and why it's stagnated recently and why a lot of countries in Europe honestly have. They have a lot of issues, bro. This is not their primary one. It's not. It's not even close.
Much like at protests in the United States, a line of riot police who sustained minor injuries throughout the course of the day had formed a sort of demilitarized zone between nationalist stop-the-boats protesters and an equally sized counter-protest of mostly left-leaning Liverpool locals who showed up in person to confront a mob of who they believed to be far-right racist protesters.
They're all inbred. Yeah, they need a dentist. They're not interested in like children that were killed in Southport. They just want to cause a fight. We're a multicultural city, a city of sanctuary, and I hope they get lost.
What do you think the solution is?
throw them all into the sea. That's what the chant says.
Solution is, well, to get rid of capitalism and have a social society, and then these people would be catered for, not blaming it on fucking immigrants and refugees and what have you. They've obviously got issues because they've been let down, no dentists, no doctors, no housing, right? But that's not immigrants or refugees' fault. That's the fault of this fucking government.
Despite this frontline tension, it appeared that the vast majority...
You know what the irony is, chat, of a lot of this? You know who drew up the borders for so much of Africa and Asia? And they did it specifically to make sure there was always division in each country. So when civil wars break out, there's refugees, and the refugees need somewhere to go. You know who drew those borders that created these forever wars? This country. They did it. In the last 200 years, they did it. These guys did it. So, God forbid they take some refugees. Feel me? Because once you draw borders, you can't undraw them shits. That's now a fucking country. They did it. That's the craziest part about this. They weren't the only ones. France went crazy too. America's done it a fair share, but these were the main niggas doing it, bro.
of counter-protesters weren't actually interested in having a direct confrontation with English nationalists, and instead had organized their own rally at nearby St. George's Hall in support of migrants and refugees.
Refugees are welcome here.
Oh, someone's just got married.
Oh.
See, this is Liverpool. And the far right is trying to threaten that.
A quick explanation, what happened in Southport?
Obviously, I mean, there was a horrible attack in which 3 children lost their lives. What happened since then was a massive lie about the identity of that attacker, which was, led by the likes of Tommy Robinson.
After murdering and raping and pillaging 1,400 Jews, look how confident they've become across the entire West.
Of Lawrence Fox, of other far right people online.
So an undocumented migrant decided to go into a Taylor Swift dance class today and stab 6 little girls.
Also the likes of Nigel Farage is complicit.
We will only stop this if we start deporting people that come illegally.
This led people in Southport, racist and far-right people to feel emboldened to come out on the street and to attack a mosque that had no connection to the identity of the attacker. I think it's also important to say that even if the attacker was a Muslim,
Bro, why are they panning in a mosque like these are all illegal immigrants, gang? Nigga, there's a difference between, it's just a difference. Yo, they panned across the mosque like, look at these fucking illegal niggas. Bro, that's so fucking crazy, man. Does anybody have a problem with you can't come to the country illegally? That's a pretty base, that's not even base, that's a generic take. Obviously you can't. Otherwise, what's the fucking point of the border? Just remove it at that point. Obviously. But that doesn't seem to be their main. They're not mentioning. Maybe he's just cutting it out, bro. Maybe that part is not making it into the video. But hardly anyone's mentioned because they're just saying immigrants. There's a huge difference. There is a huge difference.
Muslim or a migrant or the things that they were lying about. It still does not license the far right attacks on communities we've seen around Britain. So people around the country today are actually protesting. I think people here feel a part of something bigger. In Manchester, they got pushed back this morning. In Liverpool, we pushed them back outside the mosque last night. People who are here today are proud to stand in a multicultural Britain, and the far right's trying to threaten that.
I don't think there is anything special about what's happening in the UK. I think it's a reflection of what's happening internationally, in that you've got a crisis of capitalism, living standards for, in society going downhill, just a general crisis of the system. Far-right groups, obviously what they do is they latch on to the deep anger that exists. They build in the most impoverished areas of the country, and they basically try and divert that anger away from class struggle against the bosses and against, first the Tories and now Labour. And they rile a lot of very young people up, young men up with very toxic ideas, and they send them out to go and attack migrant communities, That's a real threat we have to take seriously. And if the left doesn't have a convincing alternative that's based around...
Well, isn't that so perfect though, chat, for the rich oligarchs, the billionaire niggas that be controlling shit? Isn't that so odd? Like, they just point the finger at them. Now everybody's mad at a category of people for no fucking, he's right. That's a base take, my nigga. That's a base take.
mass struggle that's based around fighting back in that kind of way.
You're rich. Yeah, but I don't have... Yeah, but I'm not, like, rich with motion, you know? Like, I don't own, like, 10% of America's farmlands like Bill Gates. I'm not, like, them niggas got motion. So, yeah, it would be convenient if they weren't the enemy to you.
Far right seeps in. You've seen it in France. I think the end game of these far right groups is obviously to just create a society where there's mass expulsions of migrant workers. I mean,
we need to tell those people the alternative march. We need to get truth through to them, and that's important. You know, it's all right, Steve. We're suffering the rages of capitalism, we're suffering the rages of, well, you know, Tony Blair didn't go and cause a fucking war in Iraq, or at least support that fucking war. If we weren't selling bombs to everyone across the planet, those people wouldn't be being bombed out their homes and having their land just stolen from them because of oil, because of agriculture, because of water and everything else. They'd be happily sitting in their homes, most of them, and they wouldn't be running to anywhere they can possibly get to save their children being blown to fucking smithereens. That's why, and I don't get it why people don't get that. If you have a problem with immigration, I'd have respect for you if you went out on marches and told the government enough is fucking enough. No more bombing or creating wars in other places. And if we are this powerful, powerful country, and you are genuinely these powerful, powerful politicians, take on these other fuckers across the planet and negotiate with them and create peace. It's not going to be easy, but you can at least fucking try.
We need to tackle all these problems. We need to transform society to a socialist one and create like a society where wealth is shared more equally amongst the people that create it, which is the majority of the working class people, you know, the capitalists who own everything. They pit us all against each other along the lines of like race, being LGBT, men and women, you know what I mean? Like we're all divided. So we're coming together, but more importantly, a sharing of like all of the wealth in the world will kind of do away with that sort of racism. And it's not an easy task, but yeah, that's why we're here. Like, yeah, people are obviously angry and they're all out together, so we want to like reach those people.
You know, it's a hard battle.
You know, I know it's kind of like big task, and I know it's not easy, but I think like, you know, like when we fight together, we can achieve like real change. Yeah.
Cool. You know, we need to build a new party that will like fight to defend the interests of working class people. You know, the fact that our NHS is in such a bad state, rather than blaming that on migrants, let's enter into struggle to fight back against the private companies that are making huge profits. You know, I think the real answer is class struggle, you know, uniting as a working class to fight for all of our interests. Whether you're a migrant worker, British born, you know, it's about building that working class solidarity.
I believe in living in a kingdom that's good and true.
Shortly after the Stop the Boats protest
Nigga teeing up to be a politician. That's some shit a politician
and
would say.
counter-protests both dispersed, threats were reported to have been made online by members of the right-wing English Defense League targeting a nearby mosque, prompting a standing army of Arab teenagers to assemble with the purpose of standing on business in the event of catastrophe. Well, not all teenagers, but mostly teenagers. In front of the mosque is where guest reporter Sanjay spoke to those youths at the beginning of the video, but there were also many other older community members who showed up to express support and solidarity.
We cannot translate racism in this country. We are totally against EDL in their principles, in their foundations. They don't want any Muslims to be in this country. This country needs us. There's no...
These people be everywhere. The police...
Relax. Relax.
It makes me feel angry. I get frustrated.
Yes.
But because I am Muslim, I have to be calm about this. You know, I have to be calm.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir. Yeah, man, the soldiers, the lions of Allah are all out today.
Bring the EDL army.
We've come to stand up against these EDL fascists that have come to our town and that are telling us that how their town's meant to be run when most of them are junkies, smackheads, crackheads, and they're not contributing to this community or this society. How are the government letting people like this come here and cause a disturbance? We've got to stand up to them. We've got to show them that we're not scared of them. We ain't backing down from no one.
It's fucking the low scum.
And then you've got officers like this here swearing at us, calling us fucking fannies and this and that, where he thinks he's bad with a bat in his hand. Put everything down, man to man. Arrest me after that, no problem.
Our minorities are looking after the country, and this is how we get treated.
You know the funny part is these niggas have like thick UK accents. You know they grew up here. Them niggas grew up here. It's not like them niggas got there yesterday, gang. Sound like them niggas grew up there.
We don't deserve to get treated like fucking shit. Yo, we're fucking equal to everyone over here.
Why do you think race matters to them?
I don't know. They've got nothing better to do. They've no logic.
They're brainwashed. That's what it is. They're brainwashed. They don't know what's going on. They've got one leader called Tommy Robinson that they all go off.
While all these idiots have been rioting, they don't know Tommy Robinson has fled the country. So you're all out for the cause here, and the leader isn't even in the country. He can't live in his own country that he loves so much.
So is violence the answer?
Violence isn't the answer. Love's the answer.
Violence is not the answer. Our religion tells us to stand up against kuffars that are not merciful, that are zalims, that are kuffars, and that's why we've come here together to stand together.
There's people like Jews that stand with us. There's Christianities that stand with us. There's Hindus that stand with us. Pan the camera, you can see thousands of us are here. We are protecting the mosques that happen in Stoke, in Sunderland, in Liverpool, in many other towns.
Do they build new buildings in UK? Why does everything look like it's from the 1850s, my nigga? Do they build new buildings at all? Even when I was there, nigga, I felt like I went back in time. Where do they build them at? This shit look like back in the day. The whole country looks like dead ass. You turn the whole clock back. Where are the new buildings? No space. Yeah, all right. Yeah, this is fucking New York City right here. Skyscrapers, for sure.
But we're standing as one because we want what's right. We want peace. We are fighting for what's right.
Stay united. Come together. Protect your mosque. Protect your families. If they are coming down
gentrification
to
hasn't
to
hit.
kill you, to trouble you, please do a self-defense. Defend yourself and defend your ideology and restrict them in your cities, in your towns. If you don't do that one, they will come to your house and they will chase you.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
I didn't realize it was that tense over there in the UK.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers. And 5 is the best number.
Yo, bro, W video channel 5. W fucking video, my nigga. Oh, so you like the video? Boom. You're gonna like that one too, man. Go ahead, just. Bro, click the video. What the? Bro, that's what I be saying. Like,